here. Welcome back to the Chrissy Bill Show, where I review a game with no actual footage, although we might get some pictures. Alright, so today, as promised, Deus Ex Human Revolution. Here, the box you've just seen, and whoopee woo. Now, I like this game a lot. True, there are annoying moments, one that annoyed me so much that I accidentally broke the handle of one of my cups, but still. So, details. First, story. My God, is it good. Okay, you probably want more information than that, so here we go. It all starts off in the year 2027, maybe. Didn't actually look at the year, but sort of around the late 2020s, where humanity has introduced cyborg augmentation, where you can replace limbs, eyes, and even add-ons to your own personality. Sounds good, right? Well, no. Apparently there are some activists calling themselves life, health, something, I don't know. Basically thinking augmentation is wrong and should be more researched and controlled and not just thrown at the public. Fair enough. So, you're part of this big company that is one of the big companies that do this, but your character is not augmented yet. It wasn't until some attack where some augmented terrorist kidnapped one of the scientists, even though for a long way you think they're dead, and injure you to the point that you have to have cyborg augmentations in order to survive. Unfortunately, the main character never asked for this. The main character is a man named Adam Jensen, who is basically what happens if Neo was also a cyborg and had a goatee and didn't suck. Okay, he's not much Neo-like apart from this Matrix-like outfit that for some reason has some floral pattern on its shoulders for some reason. Anyway, you travel around areas in America and China and stuff like that. There are sort of hub worlds, but there's only really 2 of them, and you can only go to them at certain points of the game, and most of the other levels are sort of semi free roam. It's like this area that there's lots of secret areas, but you've got one main direction. Actually, between that and the fact that you can pick up boxes and items and truck them, sort of reminds me of Half-Life 2. Half-Life. That can of worms that will never ever be shut up about. Damn you, Gabe Newell! Anyway, distractions aside, one of the other things I like is the upgrade system, since it's sort of part FPS, part RPG. So you can gather levels and stuff to upgrade your augments and get new ones and new abilities. Good idea. Anyway, as you're travelling around the world, you find out bits of conspiracies about how some terrorists are infiltrating another terrorist group with an augmented person, and how they're uploading something, how this Chinese company is involved. Basically stuff like that. The thing is, it's kind of hard to follow the story because side quests tend to pop up. There are not many of them, but they'll keep you occupied. Another thing I like is the fact that your character goes through an arc. He believes and is against, but eventually you get to the end where you have to make some big choices. Spoilers, by the way. And the other thing is you have certain dialogue options, so you could, depending on how you want to treat the character. So you could be kind, you could be condescending, you could be aggressive, you know, that sort of stuff. So anyway, we reveal this big, massive plot that turns out that the reason that you are so crucial and the reason your augments are working better than everyone else's is because you're sort of a universal donor blood type, because most augments tend to get rejected by the human body and they need to be put on buy loads of this sort of system thing or injection that basically stops the augments from being rejected by your body. But yours is a universal donor that could be made into a cure. But this organisation, this super organisation that has a hand in all every other organisation, doesn't want that. And what is that organisation called? The Illuminati. I am not even kidding. They are literally called that. Dan Brown is gonna be having fits about this. So anyway, it turns out the Illuminati is also introducing this new upgrade and sending out this virus that meddles with your augments to force you to have the upgrade, which you can actually choose whether or not you have the upgrade yourself. But it turns out the upgrade is really just a measurement for the Illuminati to control everyone. Because they are the Illuminati, they want to take control, they can take our money, but they can't take our soul. So anyway, I say that a lot. Jeez. You find out what's going on and try to stop it and save the people you thought were dead but turn out not to be dead. And it turns out that the big boss of all the sort of augmentation, the father of augmentation, has turned against the Illuminati and is using the system to make people with augments go crazy. That's a weird way of dealing with it. Basically, his goal is to make people skeptical and scared of augmentations. So, I don't know, the whole world will be against augmentations and that will somehow stop the Illuminati's plan? I don't know. Another character that keeps popping up is your boss, who is sort of skeptical, but he's an alright guy for a bit of an arsehole. This lovable helicopter pilot who ends up dying, which is pretty sad actually. Some other characters that pop up, and this Chinese woman who turns out to be this member of the Illuminati, who is actually the final boss of the game. But once you've killed her, you are given the biggest choice. So at the end of the game you have 3 options. I don't know, there might have been a 4th one, but I was only given 3. Which is either 1, you tell the world what happened and they'll be untrusting of augmentations. 2, do what your boss wants you to do, which is spin the story to make it look like the organisation, which I've remembered is called Humanity Front, is behind it all. Or 3, don't tell anyone and just blow up the base and stop the broadcast. I chose to blow up the base because why not? Actually, a funny thing about the final level is that you're surrounded by people suffering from this augment-induced hysteria and madness, and despite shooting them they keep talking don't hurt them, and you know they're not acting of their own free will. Sort of kind of reminds me of the level from Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain, even though The Phantom Pain did it in my eyes a little bit better. And at the end of the game you're given this big monologue and it's over, and your character might be dead and he might not be dead, except he's probably not dead because of Mankind Divide that's coming out. Really looking forward to that, by the way. But then again, I'm not sure which ending is canon for Mankind's Divide. Now gameplay, and magically a controller has materialised. I love consistency. So anyway, the gameplay is pretty much your stereotypical first-person shooter. You know, hold a certain button to aim, shoot, run, crouch, crouch, walk, Dara O'Brien joke. One of the issues I do have with the game is the placement of the run button is the bumper. And you have to press it in a certain way to actually get the character to run. But to crouch, you have to press down on the joystick. Which I kept confused because most games like this, to run, running makes you press down on the joystick. So, and holding this is kind of hard because of how spring-loaded it is. So, I don't know, the controls could be sorted out better. Apart from that, the controls were pretty spot on. The weapons were quite good, only I had to stick with most of the earlier game weapons because of how big the variety of weapons are. You can't really have all the weapons because of the maximum amount your backpack can carry. I mean, true, you can increase the size, but not to the extent that you can have a large ensemble of unique weapons. You sort of have to pick and choose. And the bosses were... So, some of them had pretty annoying moments, but good ones. The first boss was downright annoying. The second one was annoying too, but did have some good moments. The third one was actually quite good. And the final boss was weird. It's basically this giant terminal thing where you have to shoot some turrets and hack a panel and then avoid some turrets and electrify floors and then shoot the Illuminati woman. Very weird. One thing I did like is the music, which just felt right and gave it a good atmosphere. Also, the Music Meister is not going to come here because as far as I know, he doesn't appear outside of any DC Universe related reviews. I heard that! Okay. And the aesthetics just felt right to give the atmosphere and tone of what the game wanted. And the voice acting is actually good. Because from what I've heard about the original Deus Ex, which this is apparently a prequel to, yeah, the prequel is going to get a sequel, which is a prequel to the original, but then the original also had a sequel that apparently no one liked. So overall, I thought it was a good game. The voice acting, as I said, was done really well, because as I was about to say, the original Deus Ex apparently had really bad voice acting, like the infamous "a bomb" line. But the atmosphere felt good, the stealth mechanics were really good, and I just feel it was a really good, if slightly annoying times experience. I'm Chrissy Bill, and I can't wait for Mankind to Wait, what's that? No, it can't be. What? I'm just gonna... What? Oh my god! It's the Illuminati! Run!